And we are live. Welcome to Rice TVX. Thank you for tuning in. This is a live stream that I was hoping I would never have to do. I'm sure a lot of you have heard the news, the unfortunate news about John McAfee, the renegade, the iconoclast, the mysterious one, the man, the myth, the legend. He was found dead. Some reports say commit suicide. I want to comment on that here in just a little bit. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe and smash that like button, as it helps other people to be able to see this information in the YouTube algorithm flow. Being that I actually interviewed John McAfee more times than anybody else in this entire world, I had that honor and privilege of interviewing him 7 times. Plus, he recorded a speech for me for a conference in 2019 in Philadelphia called Anarchadelphia. And we were scheduled to do interview number 8 that was going to be handwritten and put out in an NFT form that will never see the light of day. So we're going to pay honor and tribute to the man, the myth, the legend. And I want to share my thoughts about everything surrounding it. As always, before we get started with today's live stream, I have to place some sponsored messages from the sponsors of Rice TVX who help make it possible for me to be able to create this content. Information will be down below in the video description for BitSwap DEX, for Presearch, and Monarch. Also in the video description are my links for my playlist with all the previous interviews and the speech that I mentioned that John did. The only one that's not on there is interview number 2, which is included. That was, I'll go into why interview number 2 isn't on YouTube, but I am going to be re-uploading it. So here we go with sponsored content via the sponsors of Rice TVX.
BitSwap is the hottest new way to trade tokens. Crawling all the top decentralized exchanges, BitSwap will get you the very best price and value for your trades. BitSwap is changing the game. Try it now at bitswapdex.com.
All right, I do appreciate everybody for tuning in. Again, this is a show that I was hoping that I wouldn't have to do. I'm hoping that the news is false in some capacity, and I'll get into that here in just a moment, but I do appreciate everybody for tuning in. Binary Drool, he was actually part of the team that put together Anarchadelphia, so appreciate you tuning in, brother. Identity Block, Jumpy Joe, Mr. Smith, Crypto's Chains, and check out Crypto's Chains channel. He did do interviews twice with John McAfee that you guys can check out. Yeah, I did have him on 7 times, and I was so privileged to have that opportunity. Nuts and Investments, appreciate Les Sharian, Christina Green. Glad you got to catch me live as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. So I'm going to do a quick screen share. A lot of you might have heard the news already. I'm sure I'm not breaking anything that you haven't heard because it seems to be all over the place, but John McAfee was found dead in a Spanish prison. So when I said I got a chance to interview him 7 times, during the course of which the very first interview, he was not on the run. But for interview 2 through 7, he was on the run. And you pretty much got to take a journey through everywhere he went. Started out in interview 1 in the Bahamas, or excuse me, in North Carolina before he left home. He was on Hatteras Island. So interview 1, North Carolina. Interview 2 is Bahamas. Then I believe we went on to Cuba. Then we went to the Dominican Republic and then to England because he was originally born in England. He is a British and U.S. dual citizen. And then he went off grid. And at that point, he really wouldn't tell me the location he was at. And I believe it was about 6 months ago that he was arrested. And he was being held in Barcelona, Spain, I believe is where it was. And he was being held to be extradited to the United States. Apparently yesterday, news broke that he was the extradition was approved. And then they found him several hours later dead. They're trying to say he committed suicide. And I do not believe that to be the case. I don't believe John McAfee would have killed himself. He said multiple times, numerous times, lots of times, publicly in interviews and public statements, written their statements on his Twitter, videos on his Twitter account, that he would not kill himself under any condition. I'll share some information on my Twitter feed, which you can find at RiceTVX if you're interested in checking that out. But I'm not going to pull up the articles. You guys, you see it's all over the place. CNN, AP News, Fox Business, CNBC, Reuters, Los Angeles Times, New York Post, Yahoo Finance, Bloomberg, Market Watch, and that's just page one. So the first two interviews that I did with John McAfee were me as a contributor with World Alternative Media. I started working with Josh Sigurdson and contributing to World Alternative Media. And the first two interviews that I did with John are on World Alternative Media. Now, the World Alternative Media YouTube channel was deleted amongst all the censorship that's been going on worldwide, which is absolutely insane. All right. So real quick, I want to stop screen sharing this for a moment. Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard he had a cellmate, and I don't know if there was foul play at hand at all. I really am not sure. What I will say is that, I'm not even sure if when John McAfee was arrested, I wasn't 100% convinced that the John McAfee that they arrested was the John McAfee. And I say that because he's got body doubles. He's got people that look like him, that pose as him. And it's potentially possible that could have been who got arrested. And if there was somebody who was actually murdered, found dead, it could have been that individual. Could it be also that John McAfee was able to pay his way out of this? I mean, that is potentially possible. Could it have been that maybe he knew a lot of information that they wanted to get out publicly and they needed to protect him? Because John did say numerous times in interviews and public statements all over his Twitter, all over other different sources and in video form, that he has a dead man switch that will be released upon his death, releasing the Kraken. So it's very possible that this would be a way of getting that information out. AKA says he feels like he was silenced for Janice, and that's potentially possible. And I have reached out to Janice, but I really wasn't expecting to hear from her. I wasn't extremely super close with both of them, but they both knew me. I knew them. I had Janice's phone number, John and Janice's emails. John and Janice followed me on Twitter. John would answer my messages and stuff on Twitter when I would ask him questions. He was really cool. Yeah, I didn't start with Josh. I'd already had my channel. The channel already existed. So it wasn't as if my very first thing was with World Alternative Media. That wasn't the case. It was about a year and a half into, or maybe a little over a year into me having what was Rice Crypto. And then I rebranded to Rice TVX. Interview number one, Josh ended up editing out the cussing because he didn't want to have any issues with YouTube. So I put the uncensored version on my YouTube channel. So, but they can only be found right now. I found them on Library. So that's why I went ahead and just shared that with everybody. So I'm going to stop screen sharing here in a second. Definitely. I'm sending prayers out to Janice, Miss McAfee, Miss Janice. Her and John became like my adopted internet parents, and I definitely consider myself a McAfee misfit. And I encourage everybody to send some prayers and positive energy out to Miss Janice. I'm sure she's having a hard time dealing with this, especially me not knowing if this is really John and if John is really dead. It's hard, I want to play some footage here in a little bit. When I was setting it up, I actually got upset because I was really fortunate to have a cool relationship with John and connect it with him. And he said a lot of really beautiful things about me. And I feel very privileged to have had those opportunities. So I want to go ahead and do a quick screen share and share some of that with everybody real quick. Again, this is a video I really did not want to make. It really fucking sucks. All right, so let's see here. I'm just going to go ahead and share my entire screen, make it a little bit easier. Otherwise, there we go. All right, so those videos are on World Alternative Media, as you can see. And this is the very first interview, and I'm not going to be playing all the interviews. I definitely encourage people to go through the playlist and look at the information, the video descriptions, and pay honor and tribute to the man. Listen to his madness and his wisdom in my playlist, and those 7 interviews and that speech that he did. This was interview number 1, and this is the uncensored version that's not on the World Alternative Media site. So this is number 2. This is the one that's not in the playlist on YouTube. So if you see a deleted video listed on YouTube, it's this video because, again, the World Alternative Media channel was deleted. Unfortunately. This was one of the first memories I wanted to share. Pretty funny stuff here. Hold on. No introduction. My 3rd time interviewing the legend himself, John McAfee. How you doing today, man?
You know what? I'm always happy to be on your program. I think you're one of the best interviewers out there, else I would not have been on your show more than once.
I really, really appreciate that, John. I really do. How's everything going with your presidential run while being on the run? I mean,
you know what? I think you're one of the best interviewers out there, else I would not have been on your show more than once.
I really, really appreciate that, John. I really do. How's everything going with your presidential run while being on the run?
Well, you know what? The more on the run I am, the more support I get.
Sucks.
It's just who, and that's what I wanted to say, sir. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, man. I appreciate it as always. Ladies and gentlemen, if it's your first time ever checking out any of my content, please explore my channel. Give a thumbs up to this video, share, comment. If you like what I'm doing, subscribe, support what I'm doing.
And subscribe to Rice Crispo, for fuck's sake, people. If I'm on here for a goddamn reason. You have no clue how many people want me to be on the air. I turn 9 out of 10 down. I would never turn this man down. Listen to me, subscribe. I'll talk to you later, my friend.
He called me Rice Crispo. Support what I'm doing.
And subscribe.
He called me Rice Crispo, which makes sense because a lot of people, really mess up saying Rice Crypto and Rice Crispy. It just, but that's just a real big honor to have him say something like that. Channel, give a thumbs up to this video, share, comment. If you like what I'm doing, subscribe, support what I'm doing.
And subscribe to Rice Crispo, for fuck's sake, people. If I'm on here for a goddamn reason. You have no clue how many people want me to be on the air. I turn 9 out of 10 down. I would never turn this man down. Listen to me, subscribe. I'll talk to you later, my friend.
Thanks. I want to make sure everybody can hear that good. I guess everybody can. So, all right. I thought I got all this out. I mean, all right, so this was the next thing I wanted to share, which I thought was equally hilarious. This is how John likes to mess around with his friends, and he likes to mess around with me. So, everything going all right? I can't hear you.
Yes, you can. I'm just not talking to you. I'm fucking with you, dude.
I didn't know what the hell you were doing. How the fuck you been, dude?
I've been good. How about you, my friend? Listen, I think we've spoken enough now that I can fuck with you as a friend would a friend. Okay?
Totally, man. All right, good. Yeah, I mean, I definitely consider you.
Please don't take offense. Don't take offense.
No, not at all, man. Not at all.
Okay.
How much time do I got? A lot of people know he was running for president, and I did have a chance to interview him and Adam Kokesh together, who were both running for president, both with the Libertarian Party. I'm not sharing that. That's in the playlist, and I definitely encourage you to check it out. I think like maybe 3 or 4 hours you'll be able to watch. all the interviews that I did. Here's another one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, joining me for the 7th time. And this right here, the 7th interview, the last one was probably the funniest interview. We talk about aliens. We talk about the 17th letter or movement and trusting the plan. We talk about time travel. I kind of got really outside the box on interview number 7. So if you haven't seen any of these interviews, number 7, which would be the last one, is epic. That's why I titled it the most epic John McAfee interview. On the show is the one and only John McAfee. John, I appreciate you coming on. How you doing today, man?
Überall gibt es Ruhe in allen Differenzfürst du kaum eine Hauch. Die Vogeleinschwagen im Wald.
Look at my face.
Dual this talk best talk. Okay?
I love it when you do this to me.
Kinesisch hier? Sonke Lärm about a quai. Ich may away by Jansi quai. No, Kinesisch here? Cata lingua. English.
It is good seeing you again, my friend. How are you?
It is good seeing you. I would like to say those of you who actually give a fuck. Well, does that not beg the question? What is a fuck worth?
What is a fuck worth?
Current prices in Las Vegas is.
You got to watch these interviews. Something also, I think it was today, and I guess it was a memory that came up on my Facebook account from a couple days ago. But June 21st, 2019 is when I did my 3rd interview with John McAfee. So it's interesting. It's almost 2 years to that date. This is John tweeting out my interview today with @ricecrypto. Raw, uncensored me taking solid aim at the U.S. government and the corrupt, decaying agencies that, like engorged appendages, have turned out bold experiment in self-governance into a monster. And then I wanted to go ahead and share a few things from my Twitter account, which some of it I won't say on air just because of the self-censorship that we had to do, so I don't lose this channel and I'm able to keep continuing to get my messages out, the freedom and sovereignty and privacy and the power of cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. You can see this tweet I retweeted from my bro Ken Bozak, who I'm hoping is going to join me and Satoshi Sean tomorrow at 7:00 p.m. for our crypto rewind, where we're going to be paying more tribute to John. Jim Cantrell, father of Colin Cantrell, the creator of Nexus, wrote something really beautiful that John was a free spirit. He lived a full and sometimes controversial life. He always knew exactly where he stood in any case. Via con Dios, amigo, you will be missed. As you can see, there's some different things that, John has said throughout his conversations. You can see here, I'm saying, take note of this. And this is a tweet from John on October 15th, where he says, I am content in here. I have friends. The food is good. All is well. Know that if I hang myself, Allah, it would be no fault of my own or no fault of mine. Now, he did have a phone in jail, in prison, and I did ask if we could do the interview via that way, but Janice said he couldn't be on the phone for any length of time. I don't know if he had the phone on him personally or if a guard held it for him or what that situation was like, but that's how he apparently had access to his Twitter account. Let's see here. This is the playlist, obviously, and let's see here. Where was it I was looking for? I can't find the information of what I was looking for, but I encourage you to go over on my Twitter account and look at all the messages there. Now, one of the last things that I wanted to do real quick, and what I'm going to do is go full screen for this and share this for just one quick moment, because this is John McAfee's speech from Anarchadelphia that I wanted to go ahead and play. I may play the whole thing. May just play part of it, but I'm going to go ahead and play some of it right now.
Good morning, John McAfee here. Since I'm speaking to anarchists, I hope,
um, I can speak freely. And what I want to speak about is government versus cryptocurrency. Now, what does that have to do with anarchy? It has everything to do with it. Cryptocurrency, for the first time since the electronic age, has given people, us, the individual, a powerful tool. What is that tool? It is the tool to unlock our cage from fiat currencies. Why would we want to do that? What is a fiat currency? It's a currency owned and controlled by some entity in some usually pyramidal structure. Without the US dollar or the euro or some other currency, we can't send our kids to school. We can't get medical care, can't get food, can't pay our rent, can't buy a car, can't do jack shit. Fiat currencies controlled by an entity means that we are controlled by that entity. They can increase the supply, devaluing what we have worked for, decrease the supply for whatever reasons. They can monitor our use. The banking system knows exactly what we have, where it goes, and when it goes, and sometimes why it goes or comes. We are at the mercy of the US dollar. But not really, because we have been given a tool which as yet we have not used properly. That tool is cryptocurrency. What do we do with it? We invest in it, buy Bitcoin thinking it's going to go up, and shed tears when it goes down, or we enjoy when it goes up and we get to sell at a huge profit. You've been given an automatic rifle and you've been given invincibility and you're using it like a toy. No, it's to be used. Why? The more it is used, the wider it spreads. The wider it spreads, the more things you can buy with it, the more things you can do with it. Now, the advent of privacy coins like Monero, like SafeX, like Apollo, that are absolutely private and secure, terrify governments. Why? They can't get into them. They can't see a single transaction, can't find an IP address, can't locate an individual, don't know what transactions are for. They are blind to that sub-economy that's growing within society. And if we understand this and use this and nurture this magic tool like we should, then this is the tool which frees us from the ultimate control of governments, which is financial control. Because if they can't control your finances, they can't control you. See this. Now, is this going to be an easy thing? Fuck no. I am proof positive. I'm in a tinfoil room in an undisclosed location because I tell the world what I'm telling you right now. Don't want to pay taxes? Use cryptocurrency and privacy coins and distributed exchanges, which cannot be shut down by government. See the beauty of this. Now, what are governments doing? Well, it depends. In India, they're making all cryptocurrency illegal. Well, good luck with that. I mean, you're going to have less luck than making marijuana illegal. I mean, 75 fucking years, the U.S. has been crimping and making more extreme laws against it. It hasn't done jack shit, because ultimately you cannot control what a person chooses to do with their own fucking body. You can't. Good luck with it. It's your body, not the government's. What you put into it, both ingest and into your mind, it's your fucking business. Not anybody else's. Nobody else's. So by saying this, the governments are after me. Banks are after me. Everybody's after me. But I'm telling you the truth. This is what happens when you tell the truth. When the truth is unpleasant to powerful people. So, I know I'm rambling on. I do this. I'm an old man, and I have the right to ramble. This is the beauty of old age. But what I'm saying, what I have said, is the absolute truth, and you do know it. The question is, do you have the courage that the protesters in Hong Kong have? Because those motherfuckers, they're organized, they believe, and they're taking action. Do you have that in you? Because if you don't, well, I might as well be talking to the wind, which I don't enjoy. Pissing in the wind is a no-no for everybody. We know that. So please, God, wake up and see what is in front of you now, and take this key, insert it into the lock of your cage. Set yourself free. Is it going to be scary? Fuck yes. Dangerous? Life is dangerous. Fruitful, possibly? Yes. The magic key that we've all been waiting for. And it's here now. And pick the fucker up. Open your cage. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I was even crying a little bit just watching that. I mean, he recorded that speech. He didn't charge anything. He did it, out of the kindness of his heart for this conference. And a lot of people know that John McAfee was, he's in trouble with the SEC for pumping and shilling coins and not listing it and getting security violation charges and such. But he did that for free. And he said a lot of really, really important things. Somebody said it looked like he was in a tinfoil cage, and he was in a Faraday cage that he created because he was on the run for tax evasion in multiple countries. And once he hit Europe, like I said, he wouldn't tell me where he was at that point anymore. And so he was in a Faraday cage so that he could hide, because he was one of the, if not the first, cyber security person. I mean, everybody's familiar with the McAfee antivirus. I do appreciate everybody for tuning in so much. Yeah, I really had to pay tribute to John, because there's a lot of people who don't know him that's just, talking all kinds of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of people that they're putting out some really good videos and saying some really kind things. But I really felt the need to do something myself to pay tribute and honor to the wisdom and the madness of the infamous, the iconoclast, the mysterious, the legend, John McAfee. Yeah, I believe he was in Barcelona. Tune in tomorrow at 7:00 p.m. because me and Satoshi Sean are going to be going live and doing a crypto rewind, and I'm pretty much sure we're just going to be focusing on just the McAfee stuff and paying tribute to him. He interviewed him as well. I invited Ken Bozak. It's going to be at 7:00 p.m. Eastern time. So Crypto's Chain, if you're available, text me or message me on Telegram. 7 o'clock my time will be like midnight your time. So I'm not sure if you're going to be awake or not. But if you are and you want to come in and like add your 2 Satoshis about your experiences with John, that'd be great, man. So let me know. Yeah, and check out that speech again for yourselves. You guys can watch it. You can share it with your friends, your family, so people can understand and comprehend who he really was or is. And, you know, he really honestly was such a kind soul and a beautiful person. Oh, dude, I know, man. I'm still like kind of getting upset. I mean, John, he was what he was, and I appreciated everything he did for the most part. And yeah, it sucks. It really does. So, not the last one. The speech that I showed wasn't included in the 7 interviews. So he's actually done 8 things for me total. Yeah, which is really cool. So, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I'm going to get ready to end this stream. Definitely smash that like button if you're not subscribed. Please consider it. Thanks for tuning in. Join tomorrow. 7 o'clock p.m. Fuck. It's just like all of a sudden, like really hitting me hard. I encourage you, as always, to be the change by practicing change. If this is your first time ever watching any of my videos, I do encourage you to check out and explore my channel. Make sure you subscribe. And also make sure you subscribe to my backup channel, Rice TVX2, the sequel. And in case anything ever happens to my channels on YouTube, make sure you're following me on Odyssey, where I have backups of my full catalog, extra content as well. If you'd like to support the channel directly, check out my Patreon channel. Post up exclusive content and get early access to videos. Gonna have links down below for everything I just mentioned. If you go over to ricecrypto.crypto, I have links to all my social media sites, and you can sign up for my mailing list so that you never miss an update for new Rice TVX content. And if you haven't already taken advantage of my partnership with Money Metals Exchange, you can get a free half ounce of silver. All you need to do is be a first-time buyer at moneymetals.com. Purchase a minimum of $100. Be sure you use the promo code RICE to get that free half ounce of silver, and it's an additional way to support the channel as well. We're going to have links down below for everything I just mentioned, as well as everything we talk about on today's show.